Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. You think there's any chance that a black woman would be able to become president of the United States? You think the bias that has held people back over the years is gone and the prejudice is evaporated from the hearts and minds of the voters in America? I'm not 100% sure. I think once people get into the voting booth, they have a choice between a 78 lying white man and a 59-year-old black woman who will be, I think, 60. I think her birthday is in October, so she'll be 60 when the election day comes. You think that we've elevated high enough to overcome these intrinsic fears that kept us for so long bound to bias and bigotry? Do you really think that's over? I think there certainly could be, but when people believe this man, this Trump guy, who said that schools are taking children and having sex changes on the order of the school and sending them back in a couple days back to their school and parents. And some people apparently believe this idiotic statement. Some people agree or believe in anything this man says. He doesn't care what forum he says it. He just says it because there's fear and anger and hatred in people's hearts still. Are they prepared to overcome that fear, anger, and hatred that is back in the psyche somewhere and allow people to look at people with character, with some decency and honor? Is Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, a pure character? I don't know. I don't know too many human beings that are just filled with purity. Everybody has problems in their lives. But Trump, after I heard that last statement about these children, and I hear that the media doesn't push back on it, that the children, regular children, everyday kids sitting there at home, listening to news with their parents, or at the dinner table hearing them talk, or wherever they get their information from, now have another fear in their heart because of a bigoted blowhard like that. I'd like to use more vulgar terms to describe a man who puts that kind of crap out. I would hope we elevate ourselves. I don't see why the Republican Party has to turn to that type of an individual, but they did. And McConnell and Romney and all these people turn their backs on the American people, turn their backs on truth. Leaders in the religious community turn their backs on truth, don't voice the obvious. And I'm not talking, supporting a political party. I'm just talking about uttering what is right and what is wrong, and not going back 2,000 years in biblical history, but right out in front. What's right in front of our noses, in our eyes, and in our hearts, scaring children. Another shooting in another school in Georgia. killing kids. Do we have to have this? According to Mr. Vance and Mr. Trump, yes. Just a way of life, guys. Is that what you want in your leadership? Apparently, many of the religious leaders do, because they don't say anything about it. They just say, oh, that's a bad thing to do. They're not voicing the concerns about what can we do. We are not alone in this country. I know there's Second Amendment and all this other stuff, which people have corrupted, and because they corrupt everything people get their hands on. It had to do with militia. It had to do with things in an environment in the revolutionary times, not with AK-57s and all the armaments that are available to them. It's just ludicrous to me that people can't just talk about the truth and say the truth. I know politicians lie. They massage the truth. But this statement that Mr. Trump did is just a pure lie. He does this all the time. People don't push back, they just let it go. And it's just wrong. And it influences adults, obviously, but really, it's the kids that are hearing this stuff, that are questioning. They have good minds. Teenagers, good minds, that are hearing this, making logical decisions, and they don't see the logic here. You want to teach them something, educate them in the ways that are positive and of value. But we're not doing that. Just by the political action and by allowing the lies to be so flagrant. When we can do something and push back against the lies. So will Miss Vice President Harris make it to the presidency versus Mr. Trump, ex-president, felon, indicted by his peers, American citizens, in grand juries and across the community, convicted by juries directly? Regular men and women just like us. But it becomes political. Is the justice system fair and honest and filled with integrity? No. But in the majority, it is good, and what we make it as people, make it better if we can. That's our job. To try and find people of character. So I'm not 100% sure. Once people get in the voting booth and they have this option, black woman, white man, they put President Biden down all the time for his age. They don't talk about this guy half as much. Why? I don't know. He's got a charm. Does he have some power behind him? Some people believe it's the power of God. Some people believe anything. There's other powers in the world. There's other powers. I'm here to just say, think, be better, go forward. I think Vice President Harris has a good chance to overcome the bias and the prejudice. But we have to support it. We have to support character in all things, especially political. Thanks for listening. It's a tough go, but go to the good. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. And don't believe people who come up with stories that just scare kids, scare parents, scare, and use fear only. Don't believe those kind of people. They're not people of character. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye for now.